Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining TBV and TBA Demo Day number 15. It is pretty unbelievable. We've been doing this now for 15 straight months, and I think this is one of our best editions yet. We have a great list of companies. We have six companies from kind of pre-seed almost all the way up to Series A, along with a judging panel of six of our VC friends, along with a lot of our attending investor partners. So I really appreciate all of your guys' time here. I know we have people coming, calling in from the US, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. So wherever you are in the world, thank you guys for attending. And before we kind of jump in, Flo, if you could go to the next screen, please. I first want to announce our judging panel and have them say a few words. Then I will dig into the format for our demo day. A lot of you here that have already attended our prior ones understand the format, but just for any new listeners, so they kind of understand the rules. And then we will dig in. So first up, everyone could please give a warm welcome to Jackie from Side Door Ventures. Jackie, thanks for joining, man.
Hey, Brent. Thanks for having me. For those that you don't know me, my name is Jackie Plashkes from Side Door Ventures. Side Door Ventures, we have four main funds that we invest out of all the way from pre-seed to Series B. Most relevant to today's demo day, we've got a fund, a blockchain Web3 fund, where we deploy anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million, mostly across infrastructure, tooling, payments, and stablecoins, also looking into DeFi and RWAs. I'll drop my Telegram in the chat. If anyone wants to connect with me, feel free to reach out.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining. And next up, we have Sarah from Ceras Ventures. Sarah, great to see you, and it was great to see you a couple months ago in Miami during Consensus.
Yeah, likewise. And hi, everybody. Yeah, just a brief also about Ceras Ventures. We're a sector agnostic early stage crypto fund, focusing on pre-seed up to Series A, highly focusing also on RWA, intersection Web3 AI, and stablecoins. But we're open also for other projects as well. Our ticket starts with 100K up to 1 million. Also, we have a global mandate, and will also drop my Telegram handle also on the chat, and happy to connect also after the session.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, Sarah. Good to see you. Next up, we have Aryan from CMT Digital. Aryan, thank you for joining.
Whoops. Thanks for having me, Brent. Good to see you. For everyone who's not familiar with CMT Digital, we are a Chicago-based blockchain venture firm with a subsidiary of the CMT Group, which is a larger proprietary trading firm. We've been investing in a venture capacity in the space since 2018, and we're on our fourth fund now. We do average tickets of between 1 million and 5 million, and we're sector agnostic as well, looking at the pre-seed through kind of Series A, B level. Um, great to join today, and I'm looking forward to the presentations. I'll drop my Telegram in the chat as well.
Thanks, man. I think we're all a little jealous here of the Chicago summers. It's been a few summers since I've been in Chicago, but man, it is an amazing time. So hope you're having a good time out there, man.
Yeah,
And
can attest to it as well.
definitely, I will tell you, in SF, it's been a minute since I've been in SF during the summer, and it is freezing over here. So jealous of you guys out in the Midwest. We also have Darknight from Ape Ventures. Darknight, man, good to see you. I think it's been since Consensus Hong Kong the last time I saw you, so I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing great, brother. Thanks for having me. I'm actually still in Hong Kong now, cooking some cool stuff. But yeah, I'm Dark Knight, founder of Ape Ventures. We're the investment syndicate for Bored Apes. We invest, but we also bring a lot of value because we're a bunch of OGs. And so our thesis is to just, leverage all the network and the brand and the, leverage we got in the space to bring tons of value. And this is what allows us to get great deals and create a win-win with projects we invest in. Any sub niche is potentially interesting as long as all the boxes are ticked. So happy to explore, and thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely, man. As always, thanks for coming. Our next judge spends her time in a lot of places around the world. I think she's somewhere in Europe now, but Alix, great to have you, and thanks for the shout out on Twitter yesterday.
Oh, true. Thank you, Brent, for having me. And yes, currently Euromaxing, like the youngers, the younger people say. But I'm Alix. I lead founder relations at Aptos. We're a layer one that's spun out of Facebook, if you're not super familiar. But in terms of the type of funding that we do, we kind of moved away from grants about a year ago, and we do pure investments right now, just like a fund would. And we're mostly focused on everything that has to do with money movement. But we're pretty open-minded when it comes to the types of company that we fund. We just want someone who's really aligned in terms of, founder mindset, what they're trying to build and how they want to use layer one as an infra. Thank you for having me, Brent.
Absolutely, Alex. Great to see you. And last but definitely not least, Amit from Borderless. He is a multi-time demo day veteran. Amit, great to have you again, man.
Hey Brent, yeah, thanks guys for having me here. I hope I'm audible clearly. Um, so yeah, I think quick intro with Borderless. I've been in investments for a decade and a half now. No, I think most of the other kind of judges here have worked. I think with some of them quite extensively as well. Um, so yeah, I'm one of the partners at Borderless. Joined them as the first hire, became the first partner. Started like around 7 years back, and been in Web3 since 2016. I think know Toby and Brent for a while now, and really excited about the companies that come and pitch in the demo day. So excited to be here, and excited to hear the pitches.
Thank you, man. And thank you for being up late. I know it's not super early in India, so appreciate that. And that is it. So before I dive into the company's pitching, Flo, if you can go to the next slide. So we'll have 6 companies pitching today. They will have 2 minutes to pitch. There will be a hard stop. A lot of you know that about me. I will cut off your mic, so please be on time for 2 minutes. And then I leave about 5 minutes for a Q&A, so we can get some good feedback from the judges, and are very gracious of their time. I also want to give a big shout out to DFG, Contribution Capital, Cicada, Varus Capital, Panerai, HGX Ventures, JSquare, Coincest, Basalion, and Monad for all of your support as well, and for your attendance today as well. And then lastly, for those that don't know, but a lot of you, of course, probably do, I'm Brent, the co-founder of TBV. We're an early stage venture fund investing in the seed stage. TBA is our advisory arm that puts on these demo days. So thank you as all for joining. Without further ado, we'll start with the first company, which is Carlos from Animal OS. Carlos, if you could please share your screen, and you'll have 2 minutes.
Perfect. I'm Carlos Herrera, the founder and CEO of Animal OS, and we are building the AI workforce that powers the $10 trillion global food system. The global food system is mostly made up of expensive human labor, and every important decision requires specialists, spreadsheets, consultants, and a ton of time. So depending on that decision, it can cost anywhere from a few $1,000s to up to $500,000 to make a decision. And the solution for this is actually quite simple nowadays. Every human expert in that field receives an AI workforce to work alongside them, and they can execute work internally in their business or hire specialized agents to work outside of their organization in a true B2B agentic commerce fashion, machine-to-machine commerce, executed off-chain and on-chain to facilitate faster decisions, lower costs, and greater throughput. And it's already working. It's deployed. We started about 6 months ago. First month we did $200 in monthly recurring revenue, and now we're up to 22K with 33 clients, and deployments continue to accelerate. One such example is Nestle, the world's largest food and beverage company. Work that previously took them months to execute now takes minutes, and they've reduced the cost of those tasks up to 99%. They're also our strategic investor. They're on our board, and they're helping us expand our deployments across the world. We think of Nestle as the center of the universe, and because we have the trust and respect of Nestle, we have the trust and respect of the industry, which means that they allow us to reach any company in the food world with basically one click away. And that is our expansion strategy as our go-to-market strategy. We're at 33 clients now and we're looking to expand to 100 clients and reach 100 MRR by the end of the summer. And to further expand, we're going to continue to repeat this playbook across the food system using customer success, introductions, and the network effect. Our business model is dead simple. It's effectively you pay for the AI workforce that you need.
And that is time. Thank you, Carlos. I'll turn it over to questions. Maybe start with Aryan or Alix, or actually Sarah. Sorry, I missed you there. Yeah, Sarah.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, thanks first of all for presenting. It would be great to know in terms of, especially if it comes to livestock, wildlife data that touch regulators, like USDA, have any of them signaled they will accept on-chain records, or how is your collaboration with them?
So yes, we work with the USDA, NASA, and other government organizations. So their acceptance of on-chain records is allowed. In fact, one of our partners has a patent that allows us to move livestock from owners from one owner to the other. But we work across the whole food supply chain, all the way to the food processors, all the way to McDonald's, in fact. So it's not just livestock, it's the whole food system.
And where
Awesome.
did the agents actually live in terms of the compute associated with their operation? Is that in a cloud environment or kind of on-prem with the various supply chain stakeholders?
It's a mix. So the expert agents are on the cloud, and the agents that acquire data that help inform the expert agents, for instance, a satellite constellation that acquires data from soil or from forage in land, those are publicly accessed assets. They're paid for by the government. Those assets are actually held on zero gravity. So they're on chain and they execute on a wallet. So you pay them as you go. So we have two types of agents, ones that we house on our ecosystem and others that are public, and we manage both of them.
Thank you.
Hey, Carlos, nice to see you again. A quick question on my end. Nice to see you. How do you get ranchers to put their operating systems onto the blockchain? And then the second side of my question is, what stops the existing incumbents from adding their own agentic workflows into their operating systems?
So first question, for every rancher or every farmer, because we're going to deal with crops as well as livestock, the key here is that we're building a pipeline, and every rancher wants to sell their cattle, every farmer wants to sell their crops. So we have the largest source of gravity in the food system, which is Nestle. So our pitch is, do you want to sell to Nestle? Do you want to sell to Tyson Foods? Do you want to sell to Cargill? That's how we get them on the system. Whether the system is on chain, off chain, regardless at that point, they just want to sell cattle. So it's a very simple business model, very simple value proposition, rather. Repeat the second question again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying other incumbents, like what stops them from integrating their own AI agents?
Complexity is the first moat. One, we are using government assets across the planet. There are over 1 million, and each one of those needs to be guarded by an MCP to inform the rest of the network. So that's a lot of work that we have ahead of us. We also have partnership with the biggest and baddest of them all. They're on our board, they're our investors. So we look at those two pieces are the initial moat, but over time, once the records are on our system, once Nestle forces downstream suppliers to use our system as well, that's just going to create a deeper moat. So we look at everything as kind of strategic, but we intend this to be a $1 trillion opportunity. We're going after the whole food system.
Awesome. That makes sense. Thanks for that.
Hi, Carlos. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, what is at your current stage of growth right now? So you've been live for 6 months. What's your biggest challenge that you're facing, and what's the raise going to unlock for you in terms of scale?
It's a great question. So this specific raise is an extension of our prior round. So it's at the same valuation. The purpose of it is to take us from 33 clients to 100, so we can prepare for a large round at the end of this year in Q4. The next round will be $8 to $10 million. So that'll be the scale round. Right now, we're proving our business model. For the folks that I know here, they know that we've pivoted from pet to now the food system strategy. So we have been around for a while. We took our prior system, we took the intellectual property, I call it the weapon, and now we're pointing it to a new target. So we have raised a bunch of money in the past, and we're utilizing that IP to deal with this.
Awesome. Thanks for the questions there, everyone. Great job, Carlos. We will go now to Andre from AI Dex. Andre, if you could share your screen, please. Alrighty.
Hi, I'm Andre of IDEX, and we built the first mass market product for autonomous trading. 98% of crypto owners do not trade. Why? Because of complexity, lack of time, and fear. How do we solve this? We give them an agent that talks like a friend and trades like a pro, powered by the fastest engine in DeFi. How does it work? You simply talk, the agent does the rest. How's it different from all the other solutions out there? Well, first, it is speed. Your agent can read the market perfectly and still lose because it's too slow. We power our agents with the fastest execution. And how fast it is? It is 10 times faster than 1inch. It earned 6 million in autonomous arbitrage during development, and it wins on gas in 93% of trades. Second is simplicity. We make trading both easy and entertaining. Aggregators fight over the 12 million who already trade. We unlock more than 700 million who don't. How big is the market? It's 30 billion in annual turnover, and we aim to capture 1.5 billion within 18 months. How do we earn? We charge 0.05% commission on every trade and 30% of subscription in agent marketplace. How do we capture the market? We start with people who already pay to solve this exact problem, followers of signal groups, then copy traders, then the referral campaign. In just one click, you can share a funny conversation with your agent and bring new traders inside. The engine and web interface are live. The app ships in September. We built the fastest math engine and are applying that age to the agentic economy. Our pre-seed round is 1 million. We've already raised 230. And by the month 18, with the funding, we'll be expanding our team and capturing 5 million in annual recurring revenue by the end of month 18. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, right on time, man. That was perfect. Great, Andre.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Who would like to start? Actually, you know what? Darknight, man, we did not get your feedback about the company, so let me start with you, man.
Yeah, that's perfect because I do have a question. So, brother, do you have auto trading on this platform? Because I've seen that a lot, but I'm just wondering if you can execute the trades automatically without me having to click to get it going.
Yeah, we have like 5 years of experience within our own trading capital. It was trading autonomously 24/7. And the web interface doesn't yet allow the trading for you like in the same mode, but it will be live with the app release in the late September this year.
Okay, so do you have a proven track record of the trades that were executed and the results that you got out of it?
Yes, absolutely. It's available for investors under due diligence. We have all the links you can share and check the results. Absolutely.
Okay, what was the APY on average?
What is APY?
The returns per year, just a percentage, just a range. You don't need to be specific.
Well, I tell you what, this 6 million that it's earned over like these 5 years, it earned without us investing almost anything. The initial investment was 5K. Then it multiplied this money and turned it by the end of year 5 into 6 million.
Okay, so let me put it this.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put it this way. If I put 10K today, in a year from now, how much do I expect to make in profit?
That is not something that still works because arbitrage trading is now solely run by block builders. They can rearrange transactions within the block, and you can't really capture that much money as we were earning in the golden age of arbitrage trading. It still works. We can earn in cross-chain arbitrage, but the engine is different. It's not about the arbitrage trading. It is about trading in general. It is about people who can enter the market and trade, like, I don't know, for example, something like this, buy Bitcoin when price drops down by 5% within 15 minutes window, and then sell it back with a profit of at least $1,000 at the first possible chance. So there is different types of trading. There is different types of money operations you can ask IDEX to accomplish for you. For example, you can ask to, I don't know, rebalance your portfolio
Okay.
when Ethereum starts outperforming, something like that. So yeah,
Okay, sounds good. I'll dive deeper later with you.
thank you.
Andre, how do you think about best execution and what sort of slippage is tolerable for the agent, especially in low liquidity environments?
Can you elaborate on your question, please?
So I guess what sort of slippage would be deemed acceptable for an agent when they're interfacing with these on-chain markets, especially if it's a coin or a investment target that has low liquidity on specific venues?
Well, you can ask AI to limit your trade within the limits you are okay with. So it really depends on the market, on the real-time situation. You can limit the slippage to, I don't know, 0.1% or even less. It's okay in networks with I don't know, a lot of trading volumes and in liquidity pairs. It might be not the case when the liquidity is low, depending on the token. So it's pretty different. But again, you are free to set up the agent and you can talk to it, and it will help you to define those things if you're not really an expert, and many of those we are targeting are not the experts. So AI is going to propose them the recommended setup for every chain, for every trade.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Aryan. Alix, or any other questions? Otherwise, we will go to the next company. Alrighty. Thank you, Andre. Next up, we have Barish from Hashlock. Barish, thanks for joining.
Yes.
You can please share your
Next
screen.
company.
Exactly. The big
Yeah.
reveal.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm Barish. I'm the founder of Hashlock Markets. I'm building the settlement layer for digital assets in the Gulf region. Oops, again. Shit. All right. Our mission is to disrupt the Stone Age style of settlement. And I know OTC market is boring and stuck in a trust-based model, but that's exactly the opportunity, in fact. Trillions are about to move to the region, while there are still major hacks and billions of dollars lost every single year, and no one has fixed it yet. OTC market has grown by 109% last year. Digital, we offer a simple but solid solution for institutions in an exploding asset class. It settles any payment instantly on a trustless atomic model, cross-chain. So 4 steps, no custodian, no bridge, no middleman. And in just 6 months since I started, the code is live on Ethereum, Tron, and Bitcoin testnet. This funding is to take us to the mainnet. 3 decades in finance myself, director of UBS, head of trading at Akbank. My lead developer, Alix, has built cross-chain infrastructure at Entangle. So my way to the market is my own network from decades in finance. I opened the first 10 desks myself, and then each one connects me to the other one. The business model is very simple, fee-based, as you would guess. We deliver safer and cheaper settlement globally. Standard 8 to 9, 10 pips at entrance, scaling to 3 to 5 pips as the desk scales. So we're raising 100K. My base case is around 300K ARR, and my bull case is 2 million. So that's it.
Thanks, Barish. Right under time.
Yeah.
Let's turn it over to maybe Amit or Jackie for any feedback or questions.
Yeah. Thanks for the pitch. Can
Yeah.
you talk a little bit about like how are these companies doing it right now? Like What is your
Sorry?
direct competition? What is your direct competition today?
Direct competition has just recently started. It's portal to Bitcoin, and there are some new companies just recently established. They are targeting this. We are targeting, in fact, the same market, the OTC market that now trading now used by JAXs, but in fact, it's going to be separated by in the future, probably by AI agents.
Hey, thanks for the pitch. Quick question on my end. Who are you guys directly selling this agentic framework to? Would it be to the wallets and exchanges? I'm just curious, what does an ideal customer profile look like for Hashlock?
Well, our ideal client is family office, probably some wallets who would like to interact. Probably Alexei, the guy before who presented me before, is probably is another potential client for me, and OTC desks actually. In fact, I mean, if you can if I can, spread around, everyone in the crypto is a potential client for me because you can finish the deal from end to end.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Right.
Thank you, Jackie. And maybe Sarah or Alex for any final comments.
So I'm having some. I think I'm lacking a lot of context from a 2-minute speech, obviously. But how did you guys figure out there's a demand for this? Like, why would market makers choose to use your platform?
Yeah, good. Well, in fact, right now, what the JAXs, the exchanges are doing is that they are doing these transactions already, but they don't have the infrastructure for that. They are doing it by Telegram, by Signal, by WhatsApp, and we're just providing the infrastructure for them to settle the actual goods, the money and the good to settle. So, in fact, there's a market for that.
Because you heard from them, or is it more of a guess? Like, have
That,
you
in
had this
fact,
conversation? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, they do execute these transactions, right? They are communicating with WhatsApp, Signal, and other platforms, but they do execute the settlement layer by manually. So you can do it by by a very, I mean, they have to charge like 20 pips for every transaction, but we can do it as low as three basis points, and it's going to be trustless, safe and atomic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Barish. Great
Yep.
pitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can please stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
And next up, we will have Callum from Haiku. Callum, if you could please share your screen.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Okay. You can see that.
Yep, perfect.
Cool. All right.
Whatever
Yeah.
you're ready.
Earlier this year, $50 million went into a single DeFi trade. $36,000 came out. I'm Callum, founder of Haiku. We built the execution engine that makes sure that never happens again. So that was a real trade routed through Cal Protocol on Aave into a pool holding $73,000. Cal's own post-mortem confirmed the best possible outcome was losing 90%. That's the extreme, but in reality, any trade over $50,000, you're going to be losing on price impact. DeFi hasn't built a solution to trade with size. So that's Gunshi. Today, your only option is TWAP, which splits orders over time in a fixed schedule. It's easy for MEV bots to front run. Gunshi, it's optimal execution, standard across any TradFi desk, and we're the first to bring it to DeFi. We split orders between market and limit orders over time at the most efficient time, depending on live market dynamics, which drastically reduce price impact for our users. So you can see here, we're about 20 times more efficient than TWAP on a 10 mil trade. And even in the most liquid pool for ETH, you're losing about $581,000 in the 10 mil trade. And on average, we're about 45 to 60% better than TWAP, which is today's standard. Axiom proved that traders pay premium fees for a great terminal. I think they're up 160 million in revenue for this year alone. But that's for sniping meme coins, right? Not for size. So even for higher institutions as well, they're all lacking any sophisticated on-chain execution. They've done all the centralized liquidity execution, but on-chain it is very, very limited. So the team ourselves, we all face this problem at our respective.
And that is 2 minutes. And believe me, guys, I do not take pleasure in cutting Founders off pitching, but got to keep the train on the tracks. I want to turn it over though. Yeah, Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Colin, for sharing about Haiku. A question, maybe you can go deeper also what is planned in terms of your roadmap. As you mentioned, it's like full strategy execution. So what is live today versus what is now planned in the next 12 months?
Yeah. So right now we're testing our primary product Gunshi with Oros and not Anchorage Flowdesk. It should be ready in like the coming weeks actually to go live. We just well, the plan going forward as well is to target Robinhood. Our thesis is it could help be the end of the bear market potentially, and we want to capitalize on that, on the new flow from that. So there's that. We're also integrating Solana. That should be ready for this week as well. There's 2 primitives left from our execution engine that we don't have, and that's perps and prediction markets. And then we have all of the DeFi landscape. So that means vaults, pools, YTPT. You can do delta neutral intents, any sophisticated strategy through our solver.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Hey, Colin. Good to see you again. Quick question on my end. Where are you guys seeing the most amount of volume? Is it from swapping? Is it from bridging? Just curious, like the breakdown of where the breakdown of volume this far of where you're seeing the most success.
Yeah, it is primarily just token swaps, to be completely honest. Obviously, we added all of these extra primitives that Li-Fi and others don't have. But to get people to go and add us to their stack on the platform, it requires more than just additional primitives, and that's why we've been focusing on Gunshi, because I think it's a no-brainer when we can show them the evidence that we can save them like 40 to 60% on average, especially if you're like a vault curator or provider as well, or anyone that handles size, if you have a treasury or anything like that. I think, and we've already got demand for this as well, potentially be on variational. Anchorage have already said they're going to add us to the Porto product as well when it's ready. So there is demand. But yeah, they've just been waiting for Gunshi to go live, and it's like a couple of weeks away.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And who do you want to partner with in terms of Web3 businesses? Is it like decentralized exchanges, or what's your main target audience for partnerships and synergies?
Yeah, good question. So I think I had a list. Yeah, so a bunch of these guys are like dream case scenario. The reason why we went after Anchorage as well is because obviously these guys, they have already their network, right? So one integration with any of these guys, and then we get access, or all of their users will have access to our solver. So that's sort of like the easiest way. However, it is very, very hard to get integrated with one of these guys first. So our strategy is to focus a little bit more on the retail side now. That was only confirmed like 2 weeks ago when we had a board meeting. Increase the volume, get more awareness, and then we'll start tackling these guys a bit more.
What about
platforms
also like? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and also, if I didn't answer that question, aggregators as well, another good example. So catching up with Bebop tomorrow as well. A lot of these guys that just do tokens, we do want to offer these additional primitives that we support that others don't. So Bebop was interested primarily in the YTPT, adding it for their users.
Okay, I might be able to help you with some synergies in this field. I know some people that might be interested in collaborating with you. Doesn't mean we're gonna invest necessarily, but just happy to help if it can help.
Beautiful. I won't say no. That sounds amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. DM me, bro. DM me later.
Callum, just a quick question. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aryan. Go ahead.
No, Alex, after you.
I was just gonna ask, what's your guys' main differences with a platform like Enso, for example?
Yeah. So twofold. One is we can compose all primitives in one bundled transaction. Enso, they hard code all of their paths. So no matter on the market dynamics, they're always routing through this specific path that they've created. What we do is we look at live market data of liquidity in different pools, and then we mathematically formulate how we're going to get from one state to the other. But it's not just one asset to another asset. It's like full portfolio rebalancing. And that's why we're the only ones that can do like delta neutral intents or leverage looping intents and things in that nature. And the other portion is, of course, Gunshi, which is where we don't just do market orders. Like all these other aggregators, they're all focused on the time point of like live, like right now. We're looking at as this user has a large portfolio. How do we make them go to another portfolio state over time and then using live market data inputs to reduce price impact? So yeah, two key differentiations.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
And I think we can squeeze in one last question, Aryan, if you still have one.
Okay. Yeah. As you think about moving to things like perps and prediction markets, do you see a role as being a collateral kind of environment for netting and kind of collateral efficiency, capital efficiency?
It's an interesting question. I personally don't want to custody any assets. I don't want to take on the risk. There's legal hurdles as well that I don't really want to be a part of. So yeah, perps is an interesting one where potentially we would have to. But yeah, to be honest, it's still on the roadmap and I haven't decided everything there yet.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for the questions, guys. Great job, Calum. Next
Thanks,
up,
guys.
we'll have Hunter from Gold Arrow. Hunter, if you could share your screen.
So the problem that I'm wanting to solve is something that is going to be solved, and I guess our whole team is trying to solve this, but this is a problem that needs to be solved regardless. So what Gold Arrow is focused on is the marketplace and the rails for global trade. And then even before I get into the whole, like, I guess all of this, quick backstory of myself. I've been in the industry for over 10 years. For the past 3 specifically, I was actually working like right alongside Justin Sun and the Tron team. I was one of like the top officials, and I helped the entire ecosystem grow to where it is today. So I've traveled all over the world, been to all the major conferences, networked with probably a lot of people here, and formed a lot of major partnerships. And I saw one of the biggest things and problems within the industry is that most things are just filled with just hype, and there's not really big problems that are being solved. So right now, the focus is trying to solve one of the biggest problems possible. So we always like to say, if you want to make $1 million, you must first provide $1 million worth of value. So we are focused on global trade, which is a market like the whole world obviously does global trade. It's an $88 trillion a year market. 1956, you can see here on the slide, was when like shipping containers were created, and then 1973 is when Swift connected banks. But today, the rails and the marketplace and just everything of how global trade is done is still on very old systems. So done in the 70s, it's expensive, it's slow, it's stupid. So $2.5 trillion, there's only like 40 seconds left. $2.5 trillion is what's stuck and not even being able to be funded a year. So all of this commerce that's going on, trillions of dollars is not able to get funded. There's over $500 trillion in real world assets that can be tokenized. We have 10 asset classes, the 10th being space commerce. But all of these can be tokenized or real world assets on the marketplace. You can see every year it's getting more and more popular for tokenization of real world assets. It's exploding. We plan on just settling global trade through the marketplace very fast and efficient. We tokenize, verify trade, and just settle everything. And if I can find one of the biggest main points, we have agreements with the World Trade Center.
And that is time, that pesky timer. Alrighty. Good job, Hunter. Maybe start with Amit. I think I missed you on the last two. Amit, any feedback for Hunter?
No, yeah, I think 100 like good pitch. I think yeah. In the brief thing that you mentioned, can you talk a little bit about what's your traction so far? I think you have a solid background in the space, and maybe what's in the pipeline for the next say 6 months to a year.
Hunter, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
I bet I looked good, but so yeah, sorry about that. So yes, it's been a crazy past few months. The team is quite powerful. Myself, I'm really well connected from my experience working alongside the Tron team, but I'm also president of a big business consulting firm. So we have a lot of huge, I guess, clients and customers that way. But the other team members, the other co-founders, which I don't know if I can switch over on the deck, but one of them, she's like the great granddaughter of the dictator of Venezuela. So she knows like from bad government leadership, she's like has her own past story. Our other co-founder, his dad and himself, they build all these like shipping ports for Latin America, Southeast Asia, and all these different ports. So government connections to global commerce is like what we do and what like they do very, very well. So we already have connections with Honduras, and that's why it's on the screen now. We're gonna probably tokenize their energy infrastructure, and then they want to do their coffee beans, and then because it's their biggest export. So the main goal for everything, the whole end goal of this whole entire purpose, besides modernizing global trade, is that every country that we partner with and their assets get tokenized, this can now save billions of dollars in fees. It can do like instant settlement times and everything. But the whole goal is all these countries will be saving billions of dollars. And then the billions of dollars can get reinvested back into the infrastructure. So like the housing or the hospitals, roads, schools, whatever. And then it'll take millions of people out of poverty. So it's making the world more efficient and then also taking people out of poverty at the same time. So we already have Honduras, which wants to sign for a country partnership where we would tokenize their energy infrastructure and coffee beans. Then we have Thailand lined up that wants us to meet in August, the Japanese Minister of Trade, and then I was even just at Mar-a-Lago for some tokenization event. So I'm always talking with all these different people. Our team members are already well connected, and our other co-founder also builds like the NASA for other countries. So like how we have a space program here, they build it for the countries. So it's like these country partnerships where like, hey, now let's take all of these connections and experiences and modernize global trade. And now we're trying to build a marketplace, get these connections, and tokenize whatever commodities they want. Or if other blockchains do it, then we can just list the assets on the marketplace. And then also, if you see here, we have the World Trade Center. It's not publicly announced yet, but they want to build one in Orlando. And then we're going to be the entity to tokenize it and then announce to the world that we're modernizing global trade.
So what stage is it at right now exactly?
Probably just been about 2 months old. So the team's getting formed. We're trying to get like the right people together. The countries are already saying yes, and now let's get like doing, I guess, these presentations and getting the right people on the team, and then seeing the vision through, and hopefully getting some good investors or good partners on board that, I guess, like the vision.
And do you absolutely need capital to get it to the next level and start getting some traction, like real? Yeah.
Not necessarily. Like Honduras could come through literally any moment and then be like, okay, we want to move forward. And then that could be tens of millions of dollars for that one project alone. Whenever we finance the World Trade Center, then that's like a $5 or more billion fund. And then we'll be making, I guess, revenue from that alone. And then anything else we tokenize or as commodities are traded on the exchange. So any partner could come through and then it makes investments irrelevant. Plus my own connections can make it so it's like I can like I'm working on some really big acquisitions right now where the personal profits in the millions where I could kind of fund this myself. But while those are in the works, those big deals, this is more of like if we can speed things up since there's a lot of traction now, then we would be able to jump on all the opportunities and not delay things a few months.
And why would things be delayed a few months if you don't raise today?
Well, I guess if any of the big partnerships come through, then because governments are slow. So it's like Honduras is like they're saying that they want to say yes. And then they're like, okay, well, the president's on the move and we're trying to schedule these calls. But they would be like our first major pilot. And then, of course, for the World Trade Center, they just got the license for the location, which is going to be like right across from Disney World. So they still have to like buy the land and like plan things out before we can do the actual tokenizing of that building or other stuff. So it's really just if we get capital now, then we could scale much quicker.
And you're very convinced that these big deals are going to happen, yeah?
Oh yeah, super certain. Like I am 1000% confident for everything that's been moving forward. It's quite exciting.
Okay, I mean, I understand. I'm just wondering, like, if you have all these big deals, coming soon, like, do you actually really need us? Like, if I was you, bro, I wouldn't give any equity away if I'm that confident,
That's
if
what,
you know
a
what I
lot of
mean.
people have it. A lot of people have been saying that, and I can completely agree. But it's mainly just the situation that where we want to scale quick. I mean, I guess if we waited like a week or two or try to push one of these big clients to then just get the capital in, it makes sense. But uh, I think it just makes sense also like working alongside because it's not really just, I guess, the investment.
Okay, guys, sorry, I want to keep the train on the tracks here. So thank you, Hunter. But yeah, that was the full 5 minutes on the Q&A. And we have certainly last but not least, Ratam from Unimarkets. So Ratam, if you could share your screen.
Okay, so hey all, this is Ritam Gupta, founder and CEO for Unimarkets. A quick line about me. I've been 10 plus years in Web3, a repeat founder, had got successful exits from the last companies that I've built, and also founded one of Asia's biggest Web3 development houses called Nonce Blocks, with clientele including Polygon, Dolce& and Gabbana, Louis Vuitton, Animoca brands, Sandbox. Um, Lately, over the past few months, I have been pretty bullish about prediction markets, but I have also been realizing a lot of problems that are existing in the space, and that is where I feel the space has to evolve and become a long enough game. The problems include fragmentation. Last year in 2025, the reported volume over prediction market platforms were about $50 billion, but that remained fragmented over multiple different venues. Every single day, you get to hear a new market coming out in the space, being launched, but then for a layman user, there's no way to explore them all. Then the idle capital, that's a problem everyone talks about. Whatever you invest into those prediction markets, you don't get to have any ROI on top of it, and a few other coherent problems that have been existing since start of the time. And that is what exactly we are solving at Unimarket. In a nutshell, Unimarkets is a prediction markets aggregator that allows user to explore, trade, and arbitrage across global prediction markets, all from a single interface. Think of us like 1inch, but for prediction markets. You get to explore and put your trades. No need to manage multiple wallets. No need to go to multiple venues. Just everything from one single shop. So some numbers, we have been a pre-launch product. We are an invite-only application right now and planning to launch a public beta by mid of August. As of now, we have got a wait list opened up with 25,000 users onboarded for the first.
And that is time. All right, Tom. Thanks for the pitch. Maybe we'll start with either Jackie or Aryan if you have any questions for Tom.
Yeah, quick question on my end. There's a lot of different prediction market aggregators. So I just wanted to ask you a question. What is your main moat from at least what we see in the market today?
Yeah, so we are not really fighting or competing against any of the prediction markets. We are an aggregator. We aggregate all of them. We are an interface that lets user trade on those prediction markets via us. They don't need to jump onto different tabs. They don't need to manage multiple wallets. Just come onto our platform and they can place trades across all those markets. So we become a distribution layer for them rather than a competition to them. Also, at the sideline, we are building a prediction intelligence network that is that has like a truth and trend data set. So we, being an aggregator, we get to have data from all the markets, most precise data, I would say, considering we know what their volumes are, we know what the markets are resolving to, and at the same time, we do user behavioral data analysis. Any user, when they connect their wallet, we get to see, okay, what their wallet balances are. We get to see what their trading patterns are, how overexposed they are onto one category. For example, they can be overexposed on politics, but underexposed on sports. They can be an SME on economics, but they might not even have any exposure to economics. So based on that, we rank the users and we rank the markets on their win percentages, their behavioral patterns, and we collate and we just both the data together and comes out to be a data set that predicts what's going to happen in the most precise manner. And that is what we call our forecasting engine and the mode for the project.
And then second part of my question, how do you guys monetize this product? To my knowledge, I was just looking at the World Cup numbers. Polymarket Calshare dominating this, and they did 27 billion across the 103 contests, 115 million trades. So I'm just curious, like most of the revenue that you would get from Polymarket and Kalshi is kickback on a KPI basis. So curious, is that the main monetization from at least those two players, or yeah, what are
Yeah.
some of these other monetization streams that you're looking to target?
No, so in our revenue model, we just have three major modes right now. We are not even considering any rev share with any of those platforms because we don't want to be anywhere dependent on them to do revenue on our side. Our revenue model includes an operational fee for any trade that the user does via our platform. That's going to be dependent on what market volumes they are trading on, what's the investment size that they are making. But the major and I'll say the major revenue mode for us is going to be the subscription model that we have. So users can subscribe to various different subscription tiers onto our platform. We are an AI powered engine that tells users how do they rebalance their portfolio, what's the best route for them, which market is going to be the best for them if they feel that, okay, Trump is going to take the office next time. We tell them the best route, the best market, what should they be investing in, what market to get the best ROI. So all those insights, and then they can do copy trading, they can rebalance the portfolio, and a lot of other AI features. So that basically comes with subscription models, and that's our primary, I'll say, go-to model for revenue. The last one, as I said, the prediction intelligence network, that's going to be the future revenue stream that we have. Once we have the forecasting engine made, that's going to be monetized by any of the hedge funds or any of the Web3 social platforms in terms of forecasting.
How do you think about managing differing market resolution mechanisms across different prediction markets and protecting the user against something that may seem exactly the same but different?
Yeah, so we have built a smart AI engine at the background that basically classifies the markets. First of all, again, it's like a top-down approach. We try to break down the markets in terms of the broader categories, let's say sports, elections, and crypto, so on and so forth. Then we try to break down in terms of what subcategories they lie in, and then eventually the last level comes down to be their resolution rules and resolution times. That's the most difficult part, and a lot of aggregators, or I would say a lot of people, don't really realize that that's the business, the core business of an aggregator, to understand what the resolution times are. For example, there's a prediction market called Pred on base chain. They resolve any sports market in 3 to 5 minutes. At the same time, the same market gets resolved in Polymarket around after the match is over, right? So that's what we basically do on our end and then show to the user. So we try to abstract out those complexities and show it as it is to the user in terms of the rules whenever they match with each other.
Right. But if there's a resolution mechanism, this disparting or kind of a disagreement on the underlying exchange, do you hold any power to be able to arbitrate
Not really.
that?
No, we have, I mean, first of all, we don't do any custody. We are a routing engine and a distribution layer for them. We don't really end up deciding how the resolution needs to be, or we are not gonna be doing any arbitration in terms of discrepancies occurring on those markets. We act as an information source to you that this is the market that you invested in, and that is how they are resolving it. Apart from that, there's no involvement that we do. So we don't really want to be involved in any decision making for these markets, but rather a facilitator for them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And then really quickly, Sarah, I saw you put your hand up.
Yes, I had a question in terms of payment methods for the user. You imply like that you're touching fiat on and off ramp and custody. If that's the case, like how is your compliance KYC exposure, and in which jurisdiction can you legally offer this?
Yeah, in terms of payment methods, we allow users to, again, we abstract those problems, and I think that's a default fundamental that you have to do in this market. We abstract the payment complexities. A user can pay via fiat, via any token on any chain to bet on any trade, to bet on any prediction market on any other chain. For example, you can bet on Polymarket using your ADA token on Cardano chain. or maybe just directly using your credit card. So that's what we have handled for the user. They don't have to worry about any sort of payment methods. All of that is abstracted. In terms of jurisdiction, we are, as I said, we are a non-custodian. We don't have custody of any users' funds, as well as we don't do any KYC as of now. We are an aggregator both for regulated markets and unregulated markets. For unregulated markets, we are not liable for any licenses at all. For regulated markets like Kalshi, right now, we have a workaround for that where we don't do KYCs for users wanting to trade on Kalshi. What we eventually have done for them is like they have to bring in a KYC account of Kalshi and attach it to our platform and then start to trade directly from there. We plan to expand into doing a central KYC for regulated markets later down the line. So that is where we might end up requiring the broker dealer license and follow the CFTC guidelines. But as of now, we are free to offer our services on in all the jurisdiction where the prediction market is applied. However, we block VPN and we block certain US regulated or I'll say.
Okay, sorry, Tomato, just to cut you there. If you could please stop sharing your screen, because we are out of time. So thank you everyone for joining, especially to our judging team from Aryan, Amit, Sarah, Jackie, Darknight. You guys have been absolute legends. Thank you for joining us. Alix, of course, as well. Big shout out. And to all the investors that joined us here today. Again, TBV is an early stage seed fund. We'll be hosting some events coming up at CoinFest, Korea Blockchain Week, and Token 2049 Singapore. So hope to see you all there. For founders that wanted to present today, send a message to our team to present on the next demo day we have coming up next month. So good morning, good night, good afternoon to everyone else around the world, and we'll see you guys all on the next one. Take care.
Cheers.
See you guys.